What happens when an ordinary high school student sees the future? The Tyke AI who sees the future. Chapter 17, Sailing Towards Freedom. As the journey began, Jinwoo and Minji had to stay quietly in a small container house. Frank kept in constant contact with them, preparing for any situation that might arise during the voyage. The ship smoothly headed toward Europe. There were a few dangerous moments, but thanks to Frank's meticulous planning, they passed safely. Living in a confined space caused tension between the two. Jinwoo felt sorry as he saw Minji wiping away tears while looking at photos of her family. He said, "If it were going to be like this, it would have been better to go to prison. Minji, you could be with your family, and there's no point in rescuing me." Unable to hide her hurt feelings, Minji went outside the container and cried endlessly while looking at the vast ocean. The cold sea breeze seemed to want to freeze her tears, but the sadness in her heart grew even hotter. The next day, when Minji woke up and came out of her room, she found Jinwoo preparing breakfast. "Scrambled eggs again? I'm tired of it," Minji grumbled. That evening, Jinwoo learned how to make soybean paste stew through YouTube. With clumsy hands, he prepared the stew and made a special dinner for Minji. "I made soybean paste stew. I'm sorry about yesterday and always grateful to you," Jinwoo said. Minji took a bite. "What is this? It's too salty." When Minji saw Jinwoo, who didn't know what to do while handing her the water, she burst into laughter. Jinwoo also laughed heartily, seeing her. Midway through the journey, a typhoon began to hit. The sky turned black, and the strong wind rocked the ship. The ship was swept by giant waves, shaking precariously. Jinwoo and Minji huddled together in the cabin, trembling with fear. The sound of the wind was like the roar of a monster, and every time a wave crashed over the ship, it felt like the ground was falling away. "Are we going to die like this?" Minji said in a trembling voice. "No, we will overcome this. Frank will protect us," Jinwoo tried to reassure her, but his voice also carried a hint of anxiety. Frank analyzed the typhoon's movements through drones and satellite data, guiding the ship on a safe course. The ship followed Frank's instructions and avoided the typhoon. After the typhoon passed, the ship resumed its calm voyage. They felt a deeper trust and affection for each other. The conflicts in the confined space and the fight with the typhoon strengthened their relationship. Several hours after Jinwoo and Minji safely boarded the cargo ship, an emergency meeting was held inside the niche. Agent Park Junyoung began the briefing. "Park Kil-soo has been captured, but Jinwoo and Minji are nowhere to be seen. They might have escaped," Agent Park reported. "Then where are they now? We need to investigate all ships leaving South Korea," the niche director said. "We have obtained a list of all ships departing South Korea and are tracking suspicious vessels by comparing departure times and destinations. We have already checked all ships heading to China and Japan and suspect they might be leaving Asia," Agent Park explained. "Then we must carefully monitor major regions like the Suez Canal," the niche director instructed. A few days later, intelligence agencies around the world began investigating suspicious ships passing through the Suez Canal. They focused particularly on ships using autopilot systems. Naturally, the ship carrying Jinwoo and Minji was among them. "This ship carries too little cargo to afford the high tolls of the Suez Canal, and its use of an autopilot system is highly suspicious," said an agent from the French intelligence agency. "Global intelligence agencies are watching this ship. We need to strengthen our investigation with Interpol," added an agent from the British intelligence agency. Interpol immediately launched an investigation. The suspicious ship was crossing the Atlantic Ocean heading towards Brazil. Interpol agents boarded the ship to conduct a thorough search. 4 helicopters approached the cargo ship, and Interpol agents boarded and began inspecting every container. However, the ship turned out to be an ordinary cargo ship traveling from Portugal to Brazil, not using an autopilot system. "This isn't the ship we're looking for. There's no trace of Jinwoo and Minji," reported an Interpol agent via radio. This outcome was the result of hacking into the Global Intelligence Agency's computers. The autonomous cargo ship carrying Jinwoo and Minji had passed nearby, causing the satellites of the intelligence agencies to mistakenly identify it as their ship. Meanwhile, the ship carrying Jinwoo and Minji was approaching Iceland. As they neared Iceland, Jinwoo and Minji reboarded the small boat they originally used. The small boat separated from the large cargo ship and headed towards Iceland, while the large ship changed course towards Argentina via Canada.